And this road is completely flooded. There's cars underneath. There's a truck on the other side that is stuck too.
Muddy floodwaters from severe rains inundated streets, pushed homes off their foundations, swallowed vehicles, and prompted evacuation orders for thousands of residents in towns north of Honolulu on Friday, as officials warned of the possible failure of a 120-year-old dam. Emergency sirens blared along Oahu's north shore, where rising waters damaged homes in a community world-renowned for its surfing. Honolulu officials told residents Friday morning to leave the area downstream of Wahiawa Dam, long known to be vulnerable, saying it was at risk of imminent failure. More than 230 people were rescued as heavy rains pummeled the Hawaiian island of Oahu and triggered the worst flooding the island has in 20 years, inflicting what the governor said could top $1 billion in damage. Water levels have been receding at the dam that authorities warned could fail, but that could change if more rain falls. In less than 24 hours, water at the dam went from 79 feet to 84 feet, just 6 feet shy of what it can handle, authorities said. No deaths were reported, and no one was unaccounted for. Governor Josh Green said at a news conference. About 10 people were taken to a hospital with hypothermia, he said. Crews searched by air and by water for people who had been stranded. Efforts that were hampered by people flying personal drones to get images of the flooding, he said. Dozens, if not hundreds, of homes had been damaged, but officials have not been able to fully assess the destruction, Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi said in an afternoon news conference. Some 5,500 people were under evacuation orders. There's no question that the damage done thus far has been catastrophic, he said. Blangiardi said officials felt confident in the stability of the dams on the island, but that it was hard to predict how much rain would come and what it might do. The National Guard and Honolulu Fire Department airlifted 72 children and adults who had been attending a spring break youth camp at a retreat on Oahu's west coast called Our Lady of Kea'au, according to city and camp officials. The camp is on high ground, but authorities didn't want to leave them there, the mayor said. Kimberly R.Y. Vieira, a spokesperson for St. Francis Healthcare System of Hawaii, which owns the retreat property in West Oahu, said floodwaters had cut off the entrance road to the camp. On Maui, officials issued an evacuation advisory for some Lahaina neighborhoods after nearby retention basins neared capacity. Parts of those neighborhoods were burned by the massive wildfire that destroyed much of Lahaina in 2023. Officials have been watching dam levels since a storm last week dumped heavy rain across the state, which led to catastrophic flooding that washed away roads and homes. 2 people were seriously injured in that event, one in the neck and another in the head. A similar but weaker storm was forecast to bring more rain through this weekend. It's going to be a very touch-and-go day, Hawaii Governor Josh Green said in a social media post. Most of the state was under a flood watch, with Halewa and Waialua in northern Oahu under a flash flood warning, according to the National Weather Service. One shelter at Waialua High and Intermediate School was evacuated because of flooding, said Ian Shuring, a spokesperson for Honolulu. There were about 185 people and 50 pets there who needed to be bused to another evacuation center, but by midday, 54 people still remained in the shelter. Parts of Oahu received 8 to 12 inches, 20 to 30 centimeters, of rain overnight, further saturating the ground after the storm last weekend. Kala, the island's highest peak, got nearly 16 inches, 40 centimeters, in the past day, NWS said. Winter storm systems known as Kona lows, which feature southerly or southwesterly winds that bring in moisture-laden air, were responsible for the deluges. The intensity and frequency of heavy rains in Hawaii have increased amid human-caused global warming, experts say. As she prepared to evacuate to a friend's home on higher ground, Waialua resident Kathleen Pahinui told the Associated Press in a phone interview that the aging Wahiawa Dam is a concern every time it rains. Just pray for us, she said. We understand there's more rain coming. The state has said the dam has high hazard potential and that a failure will result in probable loss of human life. The earthen dam was built in 1906 to increase sugar production for the Waialua Agricultural Company, which eventually became a subsidiary of Dole Food Company. It was reconstructed following a collapse in 1921. The state has sent Dole 4 notices of deficiency about the dam since 2009 and 5 years ago, fined the company $20,000 for failing to address safety deficiencies on time, according to records. Afterward, Dole proposed to donate the dam, reservoir, and ditch system to the state in exchange for the state's agreement to repair the spillway to meet and maintain dam safety standards. The state passed legislation in 2023 authorizing the dam's acquisition. It also provided $5 million to buy the spillway and $21 million to repair and expand it to comply with dam safety requirements. But the transfer has not been completed. A state board is due to vote on the acquisition next week. The dam continues to operate as designed with no indications of damage, Dole said in an emailed statement. The state regulates 132 dams across Hawaii, most of them built as part of irrigation systems for the sugarcane industry, according to a 2019 infrastructure report by the American Society of Civil Engineers. Meanwhile, at 11:55 p.m., emergency management reported closed roads on the windward side of the island due to flooding, the National Weather Service reported. Latest radar only depicts light showers. However, additional bands of moderate to potentially locally heavy showers may move in from the south during the early morning hours. Some locations that will experience flash flooding include Honolulu, Waipio, Moanalua, Halawa, Salt Lake, Aiea, Kalihi, Pearl City, Ahuimanu, Iroquois Point, Manoa, Kahalu, Kaneohe, Waiahole, Waipahu, Waikele, Palolo, Manawili, Waikan, and Iwa Beach. A flash flood warning has also been issued for Molokai until 2:30 a.m. There are reports of flooding, downed trees, and landslides over West Molokai near Kepuhi and Paniolo. Water levels in Kawela Gulch are already elevated, and more heavy rain will worsen runoff overnight. Oahu emergency management officials say all roads out of Waialua are at risk of failure and anyone still in the area should leave now. The remaining road of out Waialua at risk of failing in the event of more rain. Leave now while conditions are safe to prevent becoming stuck, the city alert says. The impacted area includes all of Waialua West, Kaina side, of Kaukanahua Stream. Access into Waialua ends as of 9:30 p.m. Vehicles only allowed to exit after that. Evacuate now to avoid isolation. Governor Josh Green said conditions on Oahu's North Shore were very serious early Friday, as heavy rain triggered rapid flooding, prompted evacuations, and led to multiple rescues. The city and county of Honolulu has issued an evacuation order for some North Shore areas due to extremely dangerous flooding and rising water levels at the Wahiawa Dam. At 7:43 a.m., emergency management reported widespread, life-threatening flash flood impacts continuing across northern Oahu, particularly in the Halewa and Waialua areas. Officials said that although rainfall rates have temporarily decreased, significant runoff continues, keeping water levels high, including at the Wahiawa Reservoir, Lake Wilson, which continues to rise. Emergency officials also warned that additional bands of heavy rainfall moving in from the southwest are expected to continue through the day, which could lead to renewed rises in water levels and worsening flooding conditions. We're seeing rapid spikes in surge of water in some places, 3 or 4 feet of water on roads, Green said in a live interview on Sunrise. Green also provided an update on the Wahiawa Dam water level, saying it was 84.73 feet as of about 18 minutes before the interview. He noted 85 feet is the threshold that triggers evacuations, and said sirens were sounded in the early morning hours as officials began moving people out. Green emphasized that while the top of the dam is higher, officials are watching the rate of rise closely. The biggest concern is if water ultimately goes over the top of the dam, you can compromise the structure of the dam, Green said. Emergency management said the Wahiawa Reservoir remains elevated, with water levels continuing to rise from runoff despite a break in the heaviest rainfall. Officials warned that additional rises could worsen downstream flooding along streams, particularly near Otake Camp in Waialua. Honolulu Information Specialist Ryan Wilson, speaking from the city's Emergency Operations Center, said the top priority is public safety as crews monitor changing conditions. It is definitely one of those situations where the top priority is the safety of the public, Wilson said, adding that all city agencies are involved and coordinating from the EOC. Wilson said he had not heard reports of people being trapped, but stressed officials are working to keep people out of danger zones and away from flooded roadways. The messaging is to get everyone out of there safely if you are able, he said. Don't drive through flowing water, because we don't want vehicles to be washed away. Wilson confirmed the evacuation areas, as of the interview, included Waialua and Halewa. If you cannot leave, go up to the highest level of your house or where you live, he said, cautioning people not to go into an attic where you can't get out. Wilson said anyone in immediate danger should call 911. Green said the National Guard was activated for support, including door-to-door checks coordinated with the City and County of Honolulu and the Honolulu Police Department. We'll have medical personnel out there. As soon as they can get into the area, they'll be doing it, he said, adding that some roads were impassable before daylight. He also said high water vehicles have been activated, and the Coast Guard is preparing for potential water rescues. Green said some residents were taken to Wahiawa Hospital for hypothermia. When people are out in the elements and there's water around them, up to their chest, they get hypothermic, and they need medical care, he said. Asked about rescues, Green confirmed that some people were rescued from rooftops and that rescue operations were continuing. He also described a report involving about 70 people at a North Shore campsite who were surrounded by water. I was told they are safe right now, but they were having difficulty getting out because there was so much water around them, Green said. He added that he did not know the camp's name. Green said emergency officials plan to continue issuing updates through the day, including a coordinated morning briefing with emergency services. Officials also urged residents statewide to take flash flood warnings seriously, noting heightened concerns for places like Maui, where burn scars from the 2023 wildfire could increase the risk of fast-moving runoff. Residents were advised to stay alert, keep in touch with family, and have basic supplies on hand in case conditions worsen or relief is delayed.
Come on, babies. We're almost there. Almost there, babies. Come on.